Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm Megan. Today I'm going to be showing you guys an etching project on a green wine bottle. After seeing my other video where I did an etching project on a clear bottle, I had a lot of people asking what it would look like on a green one, which I had not tried, and I think it looks awesome. So here are the supplies that you'll need for this project. I'm using a 9-inch vinyl decal, but keep in mind that depending on your wine bottle it may be different, but most of the time I use a 9-inch decal for any wine bottle craft. I made this mousse decal for a custom order through my Etsy store. So guys, I do custom orders. If you have any designs you're interested in having made, you can definitely contact me through Etsy. If you're interested in this decal or the other vinyls that I have, check the description box below for the links there. So the first thing that we're going to do after you already have your decal ready to go is apply the transfer tape. I love this transfer tape. I actually purchased my vinyl and transfer tape on Amazon. So for all the supplies that I have, just check the description box. I will have links to them. But this one is just, it's perfect, but it can be a little tricky to apply transfer tape. As you can see, I'm starting on the end where there's nothing there because if I touch down and I want to lift it back up, I can, just until I get it straight. But just applying it and then slowly start going from the middle and pushing out until you get to the very end. And if you get a couple of bubbles in it, it's not the end of the world, especially for this project because we will be removing the decal. But I would probably be a little bit more careful and go a little slower if it wasn't for a project that was going to be removed, just to avoid any bubbles. And now just go over it. You can use a credit card, just anything that you can press down the decal and get it stuck to the transfer tape really well. This was actually the first time I've had this issue. Whenever I tried to remove the decal, some of the paper, the white paper, stuck to it, but it did come off really easily. Once I removed it, the little extra paper that got stuck to it just peeled right off. So it wasn't a big deal. It was just a first for me. So if anybody's having that problem with the decals that I'm sending, it does come off. And when I apply my decal, I just try to line up the bottom of the decal to where it almost touches the bottom of the bottle, but give it just a little bit of space where it's not touching, and start from the center and work your way around on each side. Alright, now that we have the decal applied, let's put on some etching cream. Now, I use Armor Etch. I've had this one for a little while, and some of it's a little crystallized, but it actually didn't affect the end result. So you'll need to use your sponge brush, and there's no method to the madness here. I just kind of put it on as thick as I can so it covers really well. It does recommend using gloves to do this. I did not use gloves, but I would recommend if you have a pair of gloves, you don't want to get this stuff on your skin. If you don't use gloves and get it on your skin, you need to wash it off immediately. It will burn. Again, I'm just going to go over it really quickly, and then once I get the layer on, I kind of go back through and just fill in and make sure it's covered really, really well, using it generously. I didn't have this problem the first time, but the second time around I actually end up having some spots that don't get etched, a couple little spots, and I'll show you once we get there. But just to let you guys know, I do end up having to kind of like patch it up a little bit, but I'll show you that once we get this first. Sorry about my hand being in front of the screen. But I'll show you that once we get this first layer on. But yeah, just cover it as good as you can with this cream, making sure that no spots are uncovered. And once I get to the bottom part of the bottle, so I don't have to touch the bottle itself to spin it around, I have it sitting on a sheet of paper. That's also another reason why I don't use gloves. I'm not touching the bottle. I just have it sitting on top of a sheet of paper, and I use the paper to turn the bottle as I go. I let this sit for 30 minutes. In the original one I only did 10 minutes, but I think that I like the effect of it being a little bit more etched. And this is where you're going to need your gloves. You're going to just have some warm water, and I should have turned it the other way. I shouldn't be washing the water into the bottle, but I didn't think that through. So turn it upside down so you don't fill your bottle up with water. And then just gently wash it off. Now, because I did have to do a little extra etching, be sure not to take the decal off in this process. I'm using really good vinyl, so the water doesn't affect the decal, and it definitely doesn't make it come off. So I highly, highly recommend using the vinyl that I purchase, and I get a great deal for it. So but yeah, we're going to wash this off, and then I actually will show you guys kind of the spots that didn't work out. So as you can see right here, it seems like all the spots that did this were right around the decal. So I don't know if maybe somehow that had an effect on the etching cream. But all I am going to do here is take a little bit more cream and put it over these spots that are that didn't etch. If you aren't happy with the way the bottle looks, or if you maybe have streaks or other spots throughout the bottle, you can always completely recoat it and do a whole nother layer, and it turns out really nicely. I actually learned that from the customer that purchased this decal. I'd never had to put extra coats on, and the project that the customer did turned out really, really beautiful. And from the info given, it was after using 3 coats just to get the streaks out and the little spots that didn't cover. This, after patching this, all I did was let it sit again for 30 minutes, and then I washed it off and it worked perfectly. So just doing this little patchwork definitely did the job. And our last step is to remove the decal. I always use my little seam ripper to grab little pieces and pull them up, and then I just peel them off. You can definitely try using some tweezers, or maybe some fine tip tweezers would work well. That decal is on there really good, so it takes a minute. I think it took me about 10 minutes to get the decal off. And it's easier if you start in thicker spots. I started at the top here of the tree, but I should have started at the bottom and worked my way up, which I kind of get into after I get going and realize that this is not wanting to come off super easy. But yeah, get the decal off and then we'll see the results. And here's our final product. I purchased some cork lights from Amazon, which will also be in the description box, so that way we could light it up and get this effect. It's hard to get the effect on camera because it doesn't actually glow that bright. It's kind of got a really, really bright light around each of these lights, and it's really a little bit more dim than that, but it turned out really, really pretty. I hope you guys like it and come back and see me for my next project.